Moving on is weird. You know the relationship has become toxic. You know the friendship has run its course. You know that parent is probably never going to give you the love or validation you've spent years hoping for. And yet, knowing you should move on and actually being able to move on are two completely different things. So, in this video, I'm going to give you 5 science backed, practical ways to make this painful process easier. And do not zone out on tip number 5. It sounds almost too simple, but it can send one very clear message to your brain that it needs to stop going back. So, let's get into it. Tip number 1. Stop trying to delete them. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to move on is trying desperately not to think about someone. I'm done thinking about her. I need to stop replaying that conversation. I don't care what my mother thinks anymore. Problem is, your brain doesn't work that way. Try this right now. For the next 5 seconds, do not think about a pink elephant. Don't picture it. You just pictured it, right? That's called ironic process of thought suppression. The harder you try not to think about something, the more your brain has to keep checking. Am I thinking about it? And that check is the thought. So the memory pops up while you're making coffee, or mid-conversation with someone else, completely unrelated, or right as you're falling asleep. And instead of telling yourself, I shouldn't be thinking about them, try accepting, oh, I am thinking about them. No judgment, no argument. Just notice it and keep doing whatever you were doing. Because moving on doesn't start when someone disappears from your thoughts. It starts when their appearance in your thoughts stops deciding what you do next. So just calmly accept the thought and carry on with your day. Tip number 2, notice the thought, but do not chase it. There's a difference between a memory that shows up on its own and you going out to find it. Tip 1 was about not fighting the thoughts that pop up uninvited, but checking their Instagram, rereading old texts, opening that one photo again. That's not your brain bringing something up. That's you going back to get something. And it doesn't feel like a big decision in the moment. It feels automatic, like your thumb just does it before your brain catches up. That's because it is automatic. It's a habit loop. Cue, routine, reward. A certain time of day, a certain feeling, a certain kind of boredom, and your hand is already unlocking your phone before you've consciously chosen to. Here's what most people get wrong. They try to fight the urge in the moment, right when it's strongest. That's the hardest possible time to stop it. So instead, catch the cue, not the craving. Notice what usually comes right before you check. Is it the second you wake up? Is it right before bed? Or a specific quiet moment at work? Once you know the cue, put one small step between it and the action. For example, move the social media app off your home screen. Or you can just log out so it takes an extra 10 seconds to get back in. With this, you are no more relying on willpower in the moment. You're creating a tiny pause between the automatic trigger and your response. Tip number 3, let go of their potential. Sometimes you're not holding on to the person anymore. You're holding on to who you still believe they could become. Maybe they'll finally get it. Maybe my partner will finally become the person I've always needed them to be. And every so often, they'll do just enough to make you think, see, maybe things are changing. But here's the question that actually matters. Are you responding to who this person consistently is, or who you keep hoping they'll become? So don't ask, could this get better? Ask instead, if they stayed exactly as they are today, would I still want this? Not their best day, not their worst day. Focus on the pattern, because sometimes moving on means grieving 2 different things. The relationship you actually had and the one you kept hoping you'd eventually get. Tip number 4, redesign your environment before you redesign your mindset. You can't think your way out of a pattern your environment keeps triggering. If the coffee shop you always went to together still makes your chest tighten, stop going for a while. If walking into your childhood room still pulls up the same old ache every time you visit, maybe rearrange that room or sit somewhere else in the house when you visit. This isn't about avoiding it forever. It's about removing the triggers while the new pattern is still fragile. The same reason someone quitting drinking keeps alcohol out of the house for the first few weeks. Not because they're weak, because willpower isn't meant to fight a trigger every single day. Change the space. Change the room. Change the routine. Your mindset gets a much easier job when your environment stops working against it. Tip number 5, the easiest one. Give your brain a closure moment. Here's the thing. Your brain doesn't fully register moving on as a decision. It needs a moment, something concrete it can point back to and say, that's when it ended. So give it one. Write a letter you never send. Say everything you wish you could say. Then close it, fold it up, put it away, or burn it if that feels better. Or just say it out loud, alone in your room. I'm done waiting for this to become what I wanted. That's it. This works not because they hear it, they never will. It works because your brain finally gets proof that the chapter is closed. And once it has that proof, it stops checking. You don't have to do all 5 today. Pick one. Start there. The rest will follow. And if you're still watching this, if this video found you at 2 a.m. or during a moment that hurt more than you expected, I just want you to know something. The fact that this is hard doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you loved or hoped or tried fully. That's not a weakness. That's just what it costs to care about someone. So be patient with yourself. Some days will feel like progress. Some days will feel like you're back at square one. That's not failure. That's just what healing actually looks like. Wherever you are in this right now, I hope you find your way through it. And please, don't forget to love yourself in the process. You deserve the same patience, the same softness, the same care that you've been giving everyone else. Before you go, which of these 5 tips hit home the most? Just drop the number in the comments. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I read every comment. My name is Kay, and I make videos like this every week. So if you enjoy understanding your mind a little better, subscribe to the channel, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.